yeah, there's my boy.
Oh, there he is, the legend, Rick Brown, the reporter's envy, the man everybody wants to be like, Rick Brown.
What up, my brother from another? What's going on, partner? What's happening
Man,
at this place?
let me tell you what's happening right now.
Right now?
You see, I'm
Right
in a
now?
different right now. You see, I'm in
Okay.
a different place. Look at the background.
Yeah. Ah, yeah, I see.
Yeah. I'm expecting to be a granddaddy again tonight. Tonight. So I'm in the waiting room. I'm in
Oh.
the waiting room doing this show.
Ooh.
And you know why I'm doing the show? One, the show must go on.
Mm, mm, mm,
What
mm,
I
mm.
got, I can't have a special guest like I have coming. And even though we have been through a lot to try to explain to him that we got to delay it, because I know his schedule is busier than Barack Obama. So when I can get a minute to get Tony O'Neill on the show, I got to roll with it. Now, when he leave, I might cut the show right then and get
Okay.
off. But
We might have
I,
to.
I, I got to have him on. I got to have him on. That's my guy there.
All right now. All
You know
right.
that
All
that's my guy there. And
right.
so she if something happened between now while I'm on the show, they're gonna walk in here with the nurse and say, Mr. Clayton, you have a new member of the family.
So, so the show abruptly ends, ladies and gentlemen. You know what happened, all right? We got a little baby Clayton has just introduced themselves and said they're taking over for even Jeremiah. So
Yeah,
I understand.
yeah.
I understand. Just be prepared. Be
That-
prepared for anything. Expect the unexpected. They say.
Homeboy, it's like when I did a movie. When I did the movie, I had one of my nieces tell her we doing the movie. She said, "Oh, your life is a movie." I was like, "They said, how do you see that? How do you see stuff, and how does stuff happen to you? It don't happen to everybody else. I can't explain that. I just know that's how we roll.
We roll with
That's just what we do.
it. We
You
roll
know.
with it.
So we had a battle of the Offers. I shouldn't say that. We had the battle of Southside. Ricketts and Gobby came in. Both of them 0 for 3, 0 for 3. That's why we said battle of the Offers.
Mm, mm, mm.
But all that goes out the window. Man, Ricketts made sure the Gobby had the first lead of the season 7-0. Short lived after that. It was over. It was over.
Eh?
And see, I can't even tell you too much about it because Earl put it in his show. So
Ooh.
I gotta let him tell you about what happened with the high school games last week.
All right. All right. Let's go. Let's do this.
Well, gentlemen, week 3 is now in the book, and this season has reached almost the midpoint. Now, I've made an observation. Could it be high school football in our area is not that good? Or is it that there are just a few dominant teams that are going to make a serious run this year? We are soon going to find out. So let's get to it. On Thursday night, the action began with Bartram Trail coming up I-10 West and leaving victorious over Lincoln 24-7. In Friday night's action, there were several area teams that went on the road, but came back with no gas. Baker County down Jefferson 36-12. Walton busted up McClay 45-14. Now, Charles, they played much better than I thought they would against Niceville, but fell short again 28-25. They are clearly the best 0-4 team in the area because guess what? They've lost 3 of their games by a combined 6 points.
Wow.
Now, we have reached the 0-0 segment of the program. Poor Leon. They just can't buy a break. They traveled to Mosley and came back miserable, losing 42-0. Talk about painful, but no more painful than Florida High pounding Gadsden County 42-0. North Florida Christian trounced Taylor County 41-0. Now, not a surprise, the Wakulla War Eagles beat the dog stew out of Bluntstown 30-6. But a major shocker is that FAMU DRS beat the brakes off Bronson 30-9 to pick up their first victory of the season. Congratulations to Coach Alex Williams and his baby Rattlers. Now over in South Georgia, Thomasville tackled Tift 28-7, and Brooks beat Bainbridge in a battle 26-18. The Fighting Syrup Makers of Cairo put Mrs. Butterworth's hands on Pelham 27-14. And in the Insights game of the week, the Ricketts Raiders routed Godby 45-13. So with that, I finished the week 4 games over 500 with an 8-4 record. Not bad. Now, this week's action, 5 of our teams will be victorious over bye. Lincoln, McClay, maybe, FAMU, DRS, Thomasville, and Brooks all get a well-deserved rest. On the slate of action, we have Jefferson County taking on Dixie County. I'll take Dixie. North Florida Christian will travel to Valwood in a battle of the undefeated. And I predict North Florida Christian will remain that way. I'll take the Eagles. Gadsden County will travel to Tift County. And now I believe that the Jaguars will get off the schneid. They will get their first win of the season. Childs will also get their first win of the season as they take on Oakleaf. It has to be time to break through, Timberwolves. Leon, they'll get left in the dust again as they take on Navarre. I'll take Navarre. Godby will once again get stoned by the Yellow Jackets of Thomas County Central. Monroe will be back in action versus Bradford, and I'll take Monroe. And there are 2 powerhouse matchups this week. Florida High will welcome Madison, and Wakulla will take on Mosley. And I'll take both area teams. Now, last week, I thought I was going to be a fan at the Ricketts game. But come to find out, I did have to call the game. Miss B comes in the press box and then proceeds to call me Howard Cosell. I'll take that as a compliment, Miss B. Thank you very much. And Ricketts won the game. Of course, I have no choice this week over Miami Edison. I hope homecoming will not end in a disaster. On the college front, Florida State had a spectacular victory last week over Louisville. This week, they'll take on Boston College and improve to 4-0. And my FAMU Raptors are going to walk that Bulldog from Alabama A&M up and down Wantage Way. See you next week. It's party time, baby. Hey, the Bulldog said, let me get the hell out of here. The Bulldog said, let me get the hell out of here. FAMU.
INSiiGHTS now has its own Roku channel. INSiiGHTS itself is a dream maker providing a platform for content creators. Go with INSiiGHTS Roku channel into 91 million homes. We are strengthening our programs that will continue to educate, entertain, and enlighten our viewers. We will still feature youth sports, Mick and Rick, INSiiGHTS Magazine, Remember the Legends, and much more. Stay tuned for our creative content. Appreciate your support.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. it won't be long before when we do our promo, we'll have Claflin Athletics show shown on the days and time it'll be on, because we have the innovative, creative mover and shaker joining us today. My brother, Mr. Tony O'Neill. Look at him, Rick. He just laughing at you, Rick.
But this is beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful.
Oh man, thank you for having. We've been trying to get you on so long. We just glad to have you on.
Man, I'm happy to be here. I
Welcome,
love the
welcome.
intro. The high school thing was phenomenal, man. Y'all have a ball with that. and congratulations, man. We having grandbabies.
Hey, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Hey, they could all be boys for my money. I'd be happy.
Yes, indeed.
I'd be happy. But thank you, sir. Rick, this gentleman right here was assistant athletic director at Bethune-Cookman his last stop, and he had been athletic director at Savannah State. He's been compliance coordinator. That's why I met him cutting our teeth on compliance issues, trying to help our institution stay in compliance. Boy, you learn a lot about the culture of your university when you're doing compliance, boy.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's at Claflin. And first off, I need you to tell us about your president, because it starts from the top. Tell people about your president about Claflin.
Man, Dwaun J. Warmack. Absolutely a phenomenal young man. Vision out of this world. The being innovative, creative, and expecting the best and putting his best foot forward. So he's easy to work with. He's easy to work with because he lays down the foundation of what's needed, what's wanted, and then the things that we need, we go out and raise the money for it, and we make it happen. So I tip my hat to Dr. Warmack and for his support and trust in me and our team to make it happen here at Claflin University Athletics.
It starts at the top. And I don't think that people understand the significance of how your athletic department excels because of the leadership that comes from the president or provost, that the chancellor, that leading person. It starts there and filters down. They set the tone for everything else.
Yeah, our whole cabinet. The thing that's been most rewarding for me is not just the leadership of the president, but the support of the cabinet, the other VPs and their respective areas, and making sure that they guide me the right way, teach me the Claflin way, as I'm, of course, showing them, the athletic way, keeping up with the best practices in the athletic field. But this partnership and this teamwork has been, Mick, this has been 2 wonderful, wonderful years. Growing, but again, it starts with the top and it starts with the leadership, and it just filters down into our student athletes and our students across the board.
Tell us a little about it. Tell everybody. You telling the world, because we on Roku. We have no borders, and
right.
We're in 63 different countries. So we did an opening one time. We were doing it in Spanish, so Rick could speak to his people. But tell the world about the academic success that your student athletes are having, because that absolutely takes everybody, all hands on deck for that to happen.
Yeah, we just had a meeting with the board of trustees, a couple of board of trustees. He actually flew in to do a special presentation for our business students, and of course we had about 6 or 7 athletes.
Wait a minute. Stop. One of your board of trustee members came in and did wait a minute, you got me stuttering here. One of them flew in and took enough of his time to meet with your student athletes and talk to them?
Not just the student athletes, the students across the board, our business class. So our business students with Dean Hill and his group, and of course we had about 5 or 6 of our student athletes in from the business in the honor section of the business courses. And he flew in with his private jet, brought his team in, and Right, I said that again. I got to repeat that again because I mean I had to go to the airport and watch the plane take off. You know, but again, it started with our presentation. Always starts with academics. Our overall GPA is 3.25. I tell this story all the time. When I first got here, I'm going meeting with the staff, and I said, "Hey, let's talk about study hall policy." and they looked at me and said, "Yeah, if you have a 2.8, you're going to study hall." And I said, "Okay, no, say that again." He said, "No, if you got a 2.8 or lower, you're going to study hall." And I'm like, "Oh." I said, I have to tell y'all this. I've been in college athletics a long time. Normally, when a player got to a 2.8, we thought they was getting ready to graduate cum laude. So, we just got 4 academic awards from the NCAA in our conference with the highest GPAs within our conference. 11 of our 12 teams had a 3.0 or better. We have, out of our 150 student athletes, 100 of them had a 3.2 or better. We had, I think it was 17 4.0 GPAs. And then we had the archery honor society. We had 50 something student athletes involved in that. And then the highlight of this year has come. The NCAA, Dee Merritt, reached out to me last year, and she said, I love the academic success of your program. We'd like to partner with you. And I said, okay, talk to me. It's a mentoring program. It's called Athleta. And it's sponsored by the NCAA, where they bring in mentors from across the country to mentor our student athletes. So we're the only Division II school that's a part of this program. And we did a great job the first semester, and we had a little reception for the student athletes on Sunday, and we came in and I thanked them for their support, and it kicked off where this next November 1st, they're bringing the whole team in. The NCAA will sponsor a interviewing type session, a career day for all of our student athletes, not just the 50 that's in the program. We branched it out to all of our student athletes, where they will have the opportunity to meet mentors, meet business people, bring their resumes, come dressed to the finest, and have a great evening out before we kick off the basketball season. And we'll be finalizing, coming to the end of volleyball season. So our student athletes, I met with the coaches yesterday about it, and they were fired up and on board. But, our student athletes have been absolutely phenomenal. And, it's amazing when our kids come in for recruitment and we're talking. And I always give them this disclaimer. I don't talk about athletics a whole lot. I mean, academics a whole lot. And I said, let me tell you why. Because it's real simple for me. If you don't get the grades, you can't play. And if you don't have a 2.8 or better, you might not get to practice because you're going to be in study hall. And our kids love it and they buy into it. And it's just been phenomenal, man. And just the type of students that we've been able to attract as a university. And athletics is that front porch. And we believe that. And we have to show that we're holding our own academically. And then now we're starting to hold our own athletically. I'm not cocky or anything, but
right.
We coming. We coming.
Well, tell me this about the first historically black college or university in South Carolina, Claflin. For those of you who didn't know, that would be Claflin, not some of the other ones, but Claflin. Mm-hmm. Didn't you have a special guest speaker just speak to your students today or yesterday?
Oh, yeah. Man, it was amazing. Yesterday was an amazing day. Vice President Harris was here, and she did a convocation over at South Carolina State. But she came over to speak to select a group of our students, and they had a nice round table with the Department of Education chair, and it went well. And this was the crazy part. not only did we have Vice President Harris and her team, but we had our board of trustee member, and there were more private jets in Orangeburg yesterday. Rick, look at you, Rick. It was more private jets in Orangeburg. The city was shut down. I mean, because it was that powerful of a day yesterday. It was so powerful that I called an emergency meeting of my coaching staff, the head coaches, and I brought them in, and they came in and they all peeking through the door like, everything all right, T.O.? They call me T.O. And I'm like, yeah. I said, I just want y'all to know this is beautiful. And so I said, think about it. We're having an emergency meeting and we're talking about something positive. Ain't nothing bad. And then I got to explaining, what transpired that day with, Vice President Harris, with our board of trustee member, with our chair. Our chair was there and our vice chair was here on campus. And the highlight for me was not just that our whole student body, the recognition they gave to our department and our student athletes. And I want to share that with the coaches, that because they put in that extra work and bringing in those quality student athletes. So I shared that with them, and I shared our vision, and I talked about this show. And I talked about Roku, and I talked about our partnership, and I talked about being broadcast all over the world. And boy, listen, they were fired up when they walked out of here yesterday. And so was I. I just drove home just thanking God for this opportunity. This is what he's allowed me to do in my life. Work with phenomenal people and make change.
Well, that's well put. We're gonna talk some more about Insights and Insights Roku and Claflin. But Rick, you notice that he said, look, he laughing because I'm going to come at it. You notice that he said they call him T.O. Well, see, Terrell Owens has to pay him a copyright for when he used T.O. from playing football.
Oh, so that's what it was. Mm-hmm.
That's how it evolved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he heard it from Tony O'Neill. So
Yeah,
Owens,
I let him have it. I let him borrow it. Yeah, I let him borrow for a few minutes. And look, it actually got him into the Hall of Fame.
See, he's trying to be. There's so many things they've accomplished. They do a golf tournament of which Insights was there. We did a feature on it with our relationship with Claflin. He got Hall of Fame football players. He got players that played at Florida A&M down there at Claflin in Orangeburg. It was the biggest thing that happened in Orangeburg in 5 years until yesterday when Kamala Harris came. Once the vice president came in, they kind of put it on a smaller scale. But share with them the fundraising things that you're doing that have really allowed you to do some things in your athletic program. Because I saw some things down there. I'm just like, I don't even know if I could even tell you all the stuff I saw that they do.
Man, it was so we sat down and we were thinking about ways to get people involved into the Orangeburg community. And so it started with Eric Williams. And of course, Eric played for the Dallas Cowboys, and he's my children's godfather, and we were teammates in college. And so I said, he has a big tournament, and at his tournament, he has all the NBA guys, NFL guys there, and I flew down there, and I said, Big, I need you for my tournament.
You heard him say that he flew down to it, right? He did.
Right. I did. It's golf, baby. I got to go. No.
The original T.O. showed up.
Right. So I said, Big, I need you. And he said, what you need? Oh, that's how he talked. What you need? Oh, I said, my golf tournament. And he said, let's do it. And so as I got back, I'm talking to my staff. One of our associate athletic director is Chris Canty's cousin. So she reached out to Chris. And Chris, I'm on the phone with Chris, and Chris said, Big E coming? He said, I'm there. So last year, we started off with Big E and Nashawn Gilliard, who played at South Carolina. He played for my brother in high school at Dunbar and Dayton. And so those were our first three. Year two, at the tournament, I'm with Big Nate Newton at Rattler. And I said, Nate, I need you, baby. He said, what you need, oh? I said, I need you to fly down to my golf tournament. He said, I'm not flying, but I'll be there.
I ain't flying in the air.
He said,
flying
"I'm
by
not
car.
flying, but I'll be there." So this year, we reached out and we had, of course, we had Big E, we had Chris, we had Nate Newton. I called Hugh Douglas. Hugh Douglas got off his radio show and drove down on Thursday night. We had Dwayne Harper, who played at South Carolina State and played in the league for 12 or 13 years. And they all came in, and all they wanted was a room and some food. And they wrote checks. And they signed autographs, and they stayed at the local hotel. I mean, it's not, Orangeburg ain't that big, so our big hotel is the Spring Hill Suite. So the guy was like, "Hey man, you bring some heavy hitters to stay in the Spring Hill Suite." I said, "Listen, what y'all don't understand is these are down to earth human beings, and they understand the mission." So our golf tournament is taking off, and Mickey came down, and one of my highlights of this year's golf tournament, Congressman Clyburn plays in our tournament, Jim Clyburn. And Clyburn has his group, and he got 4 or 5 cars riding around the golf course, his security, and he riding around in his Omega cart. and I walked up to him, and I said, "You know what?" I said, "I don't like being a fan. But," I said, "I've been in your tournament, you've been in my tournament." And I said, "I haven't had a picture yet. We've been together several times in Atlanta for the national championship last year." I said, "I need a picture." And Mickey was right there, right? And Mickey was like, "Get the picture." So he got me fired up for it. Mickey got me fired up. And Congressman Clyburn said, "You should have been asked for the picture, man." And we took the picture and we laughed, and he went out with his family and played in the golf tournament. But it's just that type of atmosphere. And our other fundraiser, we have 3 major fundraisers that we do in athletics. Of course, the golf tournament, which is growing tremendously. And last year, after our golf tournament, we were in our fundraising meeting with the advancement team, and somebody said, "Tio, what are you going to do to piggyback off of the golf tournament when you had them stars?" And I said, "I don't know. It's basketball season. Which basketball players you going to get?" I said, "I can't. They're in season." I said, "But you know what? Hold on." And I picked up the phone and I reached out to Lucille O'Neal. And I said, "Lucille." And she said, "What, cuz?" Because we say cuz all the time. So she said, "What you need, cuz?" I said, "I want to honor you." She said, "Quit playing, boy." I said, "No, seriously, I want to honor you." And then I said, "But I got somebody else that I want to bring down too. I might need your help." She said, "Who?" I said, "I'm going to call Michelle. Michelle Carter, Vince Carter's mom." So they were both on our board of trustees at Bethune-Cookman together. So we go back many, many years. And so I got them 2 on the phone, and they were like, "Oh, we're doing." I said, "I'm going to honor y'all." And they were like, "Okay." And I said, "I got one more." And I always want to have somebody from Claflin when you're honoring in this city. I had just met Jamie Morant and T. Morant, the parents of Ja Morant. They're both graduates of Claflin University. Oh, yeah. Jamie was softball player of the year. T was basketball player of the year. Oh, yeah. So I got on the phone with Jamie. I said, "Jamie, I want to honor you." She said, "Man," she said, "I don't speak in front of big crowds." I said, "I need you." She said, I said, "Lucille O'Neal and Michelle Carter want to meet you." She said, "Shaq mama want to meet me? Vince Carter mama want to meet me?" I said, "Yeah, they want to meet you, and they want to honor you and get to know you." And they were like, she was like, "Really?" She said, "I'm there." All of them came again. Guess where they stayed? Spring Hill Suite, Orangeburg. So we were setting up, the committee had this elaborate dinner set up and everything, and that was great. The night before, Lucille said, "Hey, where's the fried chicken?"
I knew that was coming.
So we had to go back in there and switch it up and get her the fried chicken, right? So, but and it started with creative minds, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say that I came up with the ideal of honoring them. I'm talking to Matisse Lee, our associate athletic director. She's our young creative mind, and I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna bring him down here. And we're just gonna honor him at the basketball game." She said, "Oh no, 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 no. We got to do better than that." She said, "We're gonna turn this into a brunch." Brunch. Next thing you know, we got First Lady Lakeisha Warmack on there, my wife, honor college dean Matisse, it's Tammy. They got a committee of 5, and they put together this brunch, and we called the first one a women's brunch, and sold out. Wasn't a seat in the place. I'm talking about we had to add chairs because it just grew when people, and then after the brunch, and they all came to the game and we recognized, and they stayed. We had 3 basketball games that day, and they stayed and watched those games and supported those student athletes. And I can't thank them enough. So they actually helped get this thing going. So I got a special shout out to my special guests and friends from the beginning. And our last fundraiser will be our Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame function will be a fundraising piece because, again, my approach is a little, I won't say a little different, but this is my approach. I want to honor you for your accomplishment as a student athlete, but as an alum, you should be giving back to the university. So you will sell a table, you will sell your tickets, And so I came up with the concept, I want to give you jackets. I want to make sure that you have Hall of Fame jackets. I said, I got mine and I wear it proudly. And they said, well, it's an older group. I don't know. I said, well, all of them won't be old. But I said, you know what? How about this? We take the money from the proceeds of them selling the tables and buy their Hall of Fame jacket. So it'll be custom, tailored to their size, fitting. And so our 3 major fundraisers are, of course, the golf tournament, the Hall of Fame function, and the brunch. And this year, we have I can't tell y'all right now, but we'll be releasing it real soon.
Wow.
Yeah. So
all that's typical, Tony. I just text you because I got an idea.
Okay.
And we could put something together there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yes, sir.
And see, that's one of the things I appreciate about Tony is that you can offer suggestions that if he think it'll work, then okay. If he doesn't, our feelings ain't hurt. But he doesn't mind taking that. If you got a better way to make that wheel spin faster, then he wants to hear that. Now, Tony, I got a surprise for you here. Something I've been working on. It ain't finished yet, but there's something.
Okay, Mick. I'm sweating. You got me sweating, bro. You got me losing my cool over here, bro. You got me losing my cool over here.
You like that, Tony?
I love it. Oh my God.
See that, Tony? Wait. One thing I learned in a little bit of stuff we did with the boosters and doing things is that under promise and over deliver. You always give them more than what they expect they're gonna get.
Got that right.
Yeah, and I had to research to get that little growl that the panther does and stuff. And I want a picture of it. I wanted the panther move.
Oh, I love that live. I love the live. That live. Oh my God, that live. That's man.
See, Tony, we got some stuff coming for you, boy. Rick, we gonna do this athletic thing with Claflin and a half-hour show, and we're gonna let the world know about their accomplishments. I mean, and like I said, we just sent a fundraising idea. We're gonna work together with some things, and at the end of the day, we did do a few creative things in the time that we've been out here. So we got experience in doing some things.
Mm-hmm.
And I told T.O., I'm sorry, I need to get me an original T.O. shirt or something, autograph on T.O. But the opportunities that we present with Claflin, we ain't present them with everybody. That's because of my relationship with Tony. And the fact that I love what his school is doing, The
Mhm.
fact that he has an administrative support to do it. Went to Claflin for the golf tournament. I mean, these are things that I saw. I don't even know if I could talk about it. If he put his hand up, I'd be quiet. But,
No, go
I'm a
ahead.
basketball guy. Man, they stuff in the basketball locker rooms and stuff. I'm sitting there with my mouth open, stunned with what they have in their facility. I said, Claflin is going to be able to recruit based off of this facility that they have and the things that they have available to the student athletes. If you recruit students and you put academic requirements on them and hold them to them, they'll respond.
Yep.
If they know they have to do certain things, they will do them. But if you don't hold their feet to the fire, they won't do them. And
That's
as
correct.
Black men and women, we have to be prepared when we leave and have these opportunities. We have to be successful in them and make the most out of them. We have to be used to
Yes.
going to work and doing the things we need to do and not having people do it for me. When they leave from Claflin, I'm telling you, the attendance is growing. They got a president walks around on campus talking to the students. They just, the more I look into what they're doing, the more proud I am of their accomplishments.
You know what, Mick? Can y'all hear that background noise? Y'all hear a lot of background noise? Let me tell you what's going on. Tonight we had a volleyball match. Our volleyball team is undefeated, but we had a bake-off. All of our athletic programs bake off to raise money to donate. This place, I put it on Facebook Live. This place was rocking. Those teams went out and baked their cookies, homemade banana pudding. I mean, the student athletes put on a show out there, and then they went in there and the gym rocking with the volleyball match, and then come back outside and they rocking and they're supporting each other and they're competing against each other in a nice, friendly way, and it just gave me chill bumps, just to see our student athletes working together, while having fun. And then you find out kids can bake. And, so I had to hit every table. I'm smart now. I don't hit one table now. I said, but listen, I can't eat all this stuff now. Y'all give it to somebody else. But I hit every table with a donation. And I cashed after so they couldn't forget.
Rick, let me tell you what else he did. I'm there and I'm looking behind the scenes. I'm looking at what everybody else doesn't look at.
Mhm.
So he has a lot of his staff was there when he got there. You know what that does? That gives you continuity. You don't walk in changing the whole department, changing everything, and then you don't have anybody with a history or background to tell you what works and doesn't work. You learn from them. So even though you might have changed the AD, you still have the same people in place that the students know, and they can tell you, like you heard him say, he learned about Claflin, so they can tell him about Claflin. And see, that continuity is important.
Yes.
And far too often in our situations, we go in, clean house, move everybody, hire friends and buddies, and nobody knows nothing.
Right.
They don't even know where to find the code to be able to tell you what the correct school colors are.
Yeah,
and you think that's not important? You wait till the alumni see and tell you that that's not the right orange, or that's not the right this or that. They know what that's supposed to be.
Oh yeah. Hey, Rick. This is. I mean, when we were just going through the staff roster. Our volleyball coach that's undefeated right now. Last year was her first opportunity, and she's a Claflin grad. She was on the last volleyball team that won the championship here. We brought her in, and she goes to the semifinals last year in her first year. Now she's undefeated and competing at the highest level. Our strength and conditioning. It's a female, former basketball player, Claflin grad. Miss Matisse Lee, our associate athletic director, Claflin grad. Our women's basketball coach was on the men's side. We made a switch mid-year and asked him to step over. He did such a phenomenal job. We had that conversation, and he has taken on the duties as the coach on a full-time basis on our women's side. Claflin grad. Our academic coordinator, Claflin grad. Then we have our mixture of our, new people that came in, such as myself. But it was, like you said, it was important to save or respect the tradition and the heritage of Claflin University. These individuals taught me, and the one thing I learned, and my buddy just walked in my office because he's doing a presentation tomorrow, Mr. Lynn Thompson, and we worked together for 20 years. And continuity is everything. Respect is everything. And family is bigger than all. Once you have that, we'll run through walls for each other, and this keeping people around. Like someone was talking about Cy McLaren when we were at Bethune-Cookman, said, I think it was Mick, said he had his own desk and his own office because Cy was the history. Tank Johnson, Uncle Luke, all those guys were Bethune history. And so we're keeping that here. We got Liz Kitt, who's a city council member, and she's here at every game, Reverend McClutchin. And, so reaching back to make sure that we honor the past, because we're walking, as Dr. Warmack would say all the time, we're standing on the shoulders of giants. We're not here if they didn't build it. So giving them their just due and continuing to move, and they're open enough to see the vision and buy into our vision and enhance the university as a whole. And that's been the biggest blessing for me here at Claflin University. The acceptance and the willingness to build this thing together.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome indeed.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach.
We lost you, Mick.
Lost you, Coach.
Commercial break, man.
Yes. You got to have a commercial break every now and then.
Commercial break, man.
But see, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be able to put your sponsors in there, just like that. Just like that.
As you talk about the sponsors, so the other day we were I had a meeting with one of my sponsors, and so what I did was I asked him, I said, hey, what is it that you're looking for? Because you go in and you have your packet of what you want to give. Say, what is it you're looking for? And he said, I want to be a part of your coaches show, and we sponsor your coaches show to tell the story. And so then as he started talking, I'm listening, and I sat back in my seat. Now I'm in my comfort zone. I'm like, okay. So what? Tell me more. And he said, yeah, we want to tell the story. We want to get the Claflin story out there. We want to bring our team in here to work with your team. If it's okay, we'll do the interviews in that special segment. We just want that special segment because now we're going to reach out all over. And I'm looking at him. I said, I said, this is amazing. I said, God's word, powerful. And he said, what you talking about? So I showed him the email from Mick. Went to Roku, and he was like, "Oh my God!" I said, "Yeah." And then I showed him the information that we had that at Bethune we had Cat Eye Network. So at Claflin, it's like, did you see Coming to America where they had McDonald's at McDonald's? So
Right.
they had Cat Eye Network. We have Paws Up Network. We have Paws Up Network without football. So we're launching, but it's a partnership with our communications department across campus with internships, the ability to do what you're doing, play by play, work the cameras, do the videos, help with the coaches show. And then I took him over there and he was done. And then I said, I tell you what, at this point, I have a dollar figure on here. And now I'm not going to go below this dollar figure, but you tell me what you think it's worth. He said, that's invaluable. He said, because we will get a return on our investment. So he said, we'll take care of that. But that's how God works. He just puts you in the right place at the right time with the right people, and all these things. And I showed them that we're having a branding session tomorrow, where Mr. Lynn Thompson is doing a branding session for not only my department but for the admissions department and our advancement team. So we'll all be in this room together, and Lynn will show them his, I mean, just how we brand, and it'll talk more about how I think from an athletic standpoint, how it's partnership and incorporated with the university vision and mission statement. So, and that's all again, can't do this long. And I learned that a long time ago. Takes a village to run this thing, and I want to be a part of that village.
See, that's what. Oh, see, look, see, that's what I'm talking about.
Well,
See, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, that's 6 seconds. That's 6 seconds.
Yep.
And say it like, and I love what he told you. It was invaluable. Tony, I know you got Lynn there. You know, tell him that I said hello. Another Capital man.
yes, please tell Brother Thompson hello.
The crew said hello, Mr. Lynn Thompson. He's smiling over there in the back.
Lynn has been a young man that when he tells me something, he's been a trusted confidant. He talks to me from his heart. You know, sometimes he just look at me and just kind of shake his head and he walk away. But when I need to know something, he tells me, and you know, I respect him so much. And
Yes.
you know, I always respected how he was, and he took care of his people in Cookman. And you know, sometimes with God he move you out the way to keep you from being a victim of some craziness. So,
Amen to that.
you know,
Amen to that.
you know, you don't know it at the time, but later on you're like, woo, Jesus, I wasn't over there. Thank you, God. I ain't had nothing to do with it. My fingerprints ain't on that nowhere. So
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so, you know, I learned that. And I learned that with my dad, who had coached many, many years. And when they removed him from coaching, how upset he was naturally. But it took him about 6 months. And he began to come back to be the father that I loved growing up, because that pressure on you changes you. And you don't know how you take it out on people inadvertently.
Right.
But God sees it, you know, and works that out for you. So things are happening as they should for Lynn, and things are going well for Claflin. And I look forward to our extended relationship, and I look forward to the growth at Claflin. The institution itself is growing. I'm glad to see that you're making a difference. I've been there. I've seen it. I felt the enthusiasm. I saw the staff. I saw the supporters. Man, the future is bright, and you keep educating the kids. See, that's the thing. Hashtag it's about the kids. You know, you keep educating the kids. That's where your blessings come from.
Yes.
Anything, I know I kept you way longer than we thought. Anything you'd like to say in closing, and this won't be the only time you'll be on,
Right.
but anything you'd like to say in closing?
I really would like to thank both of you for taking this time to, you know, give me the opportunity to share this joy I have about Claflin University, and show how God works with relationships. You know, I tell people all the time, it's about relationships, you know. And I talk to the students all the time, and I tell them, I say, when you go for a job interview, you'll have 3 names or 4 names on your resume as your reference. I said, majority of the time, they don't even call those people, because 9 times out of 10, they know somebody else that was at that institution or that job, and that's who they call. And so you let your reputation speak for you. You have the credentials, but your reputation will speak for you, you know. So and hanging around the right people. You got to be associated with the right people, and this is you know what God has provided for me. I was praying and driving to work today, and I said, God, thank you. This is what I do for a living.
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to touch lives. I'm about to be on the show, you know, with my boy. You know, I mean, I give him a hard time, you know, especially when he did that the Strata commercial with his new car.
All right.
You know, I mean, and when his brother was on TV talking about we won't Duke, and we was like, man, Mickey, like, no, don't say that. We won't Duke. I'm like, oh, you don't know. You know, but
I gotta take it. I give out so much grief. I can't do no rig but take it. When they get a chance to get, that's what the boys will do for you. Boy.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
But just thank y'all for taking this opportunity, and I want to give a special shout out on this show to my staff, my athletic staff, the Claflin University family for the buy-in, of course, my president, the community. The community has really, adapted to Claflin Athletics, not just the university. Today, our student athletes, we went out, and I'll have that posted later on the day. We went to the local elementary school. They're having HBCU week. So we took our cheerleaders and our athletes over there, and we challenged them into a bookathon. So the class they have the separate classes. The class that reads the most books, at the end of the year, we will honor them with a ice cream party at one of our basketball games. And those little kids were fired up. It was so cute. They had to bring in the baby kids, wake them up from their nap. The preschoolers wake them up from their nap, and they brought them in that thing. And I'm like, this is too cute. Them kids don't know, but when they start chanting about that school, Brookdale, oh my God, them kids woke up, chest out, and they were ready. So, but again, I want to thank you all, thank this partnership and the ability to share our story, and that's what it's all about, sharing our story.
Wow.
Well, thank you, T.O. We appreciate you. You and I talk because we got some things coming up that I want to put in the pipeline for you that may assist you some more in your efforts. We have a lot of peripheral advantages to our relationship.
Yes.
So we will continue to do that. Thank you for believing in Insights. And tell Lynn we said enjoy himself while he's there and to continue to educate the students. That's his ministry. And
yes, indeed.
It's something that he does an excellent job at, the way that he manages people and makes them feel better about themselves. His judgment means a lot to me. So yours too. So I appreciate you, brother, and I wish you the best of luck.
All right. God bless y'all, team. I'm looking forward to the next one.
And the next time I'm in St. Matthews, I'm coming back, Claflin.
Oh, you got to.
I'm a
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to it, brother. Looking forward to it.
Thank you very much, young man.
All right. God bless y'all. All right.
Okay.
Take care. All right.
Awesome.
Insights now has its own Roku channel. Insights itself is a dream maker providing a platform for content creators. Go with Insights Roku channel into 91 million homes. We are strengthening our programs that will continue to educate, entertain, and enlighten our viewers. We will still feature youth sports, Mick and Rick, Insights Magazine, Remember the Legends, and much more. Stay tuned for our creative content. Appreciate your support.
Coach, you got a winner there, Coach.
Yes, sir. Tony is definitely that for a guy who only wanted 10 or 15 minutes. I told him, I said, you're going to do fine. Your spirit is contagious. Your love for what you do. Claflin, I just think Claflin's very lucky to have him. And I think that he's lucky to be at Claflin. It's a love affair both ways. Like I said, I saw it in person out there. I'm really excited about being able to do some things with them, to help them, and to that's what we're about. We say hashtag it's about the kids with a Z. It's about the kids, and it's about finding ways to make things easier for them and to be successful. And even in the things that we're doing a lot of it through the students that are on campus to allow them an opportunity to get some actual hands-on experience doing what we're doing. I mean, it's about finding a way to do it. And, Claflin, I think it's a marriage made in heaven. You know, Tony and I are going to talk about some more things that we're going to do. And once you kind of get something going and you find, it's like we tell all our students all the time, when you go to work, if you find out that your boss doesn't want what you have to say, then stop trying to tell them. But if you find out that they're receptive, even if they don't do it, but they at least listen and give it some thought, that it encourages you to spend more time and effort to try to assist and bring new ideas to them. So I'm really excited about it. You know,
And it's perfect that the university is growing, and y'all mentioned that. I mean, and the athletic program is having success as well. I mean, they have a couple of new coaches, but I think one of it was it the softball team. Yeah, the softball team that won the CIAA last year. I mean, so I don't want to call them a quiet giant, but they are growing, and I like it. I like what I'm seeing out of there. That's all right.
the next time you go through go to St. Matthews, you need to stop in. You know,
I am. I wasn't just saying that. I am. I am. I mean, I've been through the college before. I have friends who went there from St. Matthews, so I'm familiar with Claflin. When I saw, I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I know exactly who we're talking to and where we're
mm-hmm,
going." So
mm-hmm.
I'm and now hearing from Tony and what they're planning, the success and how he's bringing, and then with I the sky's the limit. There is no ceiling. They they could be powerful.
They could be, and they're doing well, and have a number of financial contributors and people who are involved. And see, Vince Carter's mom, we did an interview with her when we were in Daytona. See, everywhere we go, we treat it like ESPN when we go in. And we did the high school game at Embry Riddle.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Dave Howard had us come down, and we did one of our better all classic games. It went to triple overtime. In fact, the young man who hit the 3.6768 ended up coming to FAMU. But we interviewed. They brought Vince Carter's mom up, and I didn't know that she was on the board at Bethune-Cookman at the time. But they brought her up at halftime to interview with a very sharp, articulate woman. I really didn't know that that's who it was when they brought her up. But she did a heck of an interview. But she's really about the students as well. So him talking to her and getting her involved, and the stuff that they have, you see the locker rooms and how the basketball locker rooms look. They got stuff from the NBA locker rooms in there.
Mm.
They got new equipment. They said if you can get it to Claflin, you could have it. So they found a way to get it. They put it in there. Nice facility. Nice facility. They in fact they have 2 gyms inside the facility. It's a really nice facility. They're going to be able to do some things over there athletically, and they're going to be competitive because they can say they're graduating those kids because they are. And, you know, and Tony with his background in compliance, and then the fundraising that he did at Bethune-Cookman under Lynn Thompson, you know, he understands the significance of establishing relationships and dealing with people honestly. You know, they always tell you about be careful who you surround yourself with. Well, you know, people who are negative tend not to want you to be around if you're positive. So, and that in itself is a blessing. You know, if they got a bad feeling, it's probably in your gut that you got a bad feeling about them. I always ask for the ability to know who those people are, so I don't deal with them.
Amen.
You can tell because you make them uncomfortable just by your presence, because they know they can't control you. So they make you feel like you the odd man out. No, because you trying to walk a certain way. If you don't walk the way they walk, you good. You all right in your own path, the way that your mom and daddy raised you.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Hey man. Hey, look. I appreciate this show. I do. I appreciate it all. But look, you have some waiting to do.
I was getting ready to tell you that. And by the time we do our next week's show, I'll tell y'all what it is and what the baby name is. So,
Right.
The show must go on, and it went on, and it actually occupied some time where I would have been sitting here trying to find something to entertain myself, because it still might not be till tomorrow. When the baby comes, you don't know how long the process takes. But I appreciate being able to put the show on and take my mind off of it for 2 hours. My brother, Rick, and my other brother, Tony. I appreciate y'all here. This is Mickey Clayton, the coach with INSiiGHTS, and we're closing our show, and we wish everybody good luck. And then for all those people having children in this Advent hospital today and tomorrow, continue to be blessed with their families. Appreciate
Amen.
you.
Peace.
Your attention, please.
Stay up to date with the latest from INSiiGHTS. Visit our website at insights.com. 2 I's in the middle, INSiiGHTS.
INSiiGHTS is a copyright of Mac4 Enterprises, a Florida corporation. This broadcast is produced under the exclusive ownership of Mac4 Enterprises. It is the intellectual property and trademark of Mac4 Enterprises. Comments of the host and other individual speakers on INSiiGHTS represent the independent thoughts and representation.